All right. We're now going live. Welcome. Thank you everyone for joining Dorsey's Resource. Thank you. First, as usual, before we get started, I'm going to give a disclaimer. However, the topic of this video is going to be cryptocurrencies backed by the World Economic Forum, and I put something in there, must hold or important HODL specifically. So before we get started, this video is going to be for educational, informational, entertainment purposes only. Please understand everyone's individual circumstance or situation may be different. It's up to every individual competent person to please do his or her own homework and research regarding the matter being discussed. This information is not to be construed as legal advice. Any event you feel you need to seek a competent professional, it is encouraged you do so at one's own leisure. Dorsey's Resource channel is not liable or responsible for anyone's misuse of the information. Please keep in mind everyone is responsible for their own commercial affairs. Please govern yourselves accordingly. With that said, all rights are reserved. Now, I didn't want to be before you guys that long. The fact that it's pretty late compared to some of you guys' timeline for what's going on. I wanted to go over and talk about cryptocurrencies that are important if you are into cryptos. You guys know I don't really talk about or cover this topic that much. However, I felt it was important need because there's a connection to the global currency reset, to the so-called elites great reset. I was listening to Currency 365 had uploaded Benny's Divine Intel, and I felt I can provide some insight with one of my sources told me a while ago, several times behind the scenes. I already kind of knew some of this information. Once I found out, I was able to corroborate. I didn't know some intricacies they were explaining to me, but I think it's important to hold these cryptocurrencies long term if you are involved. And I'm going to talk about a few other things before I jump in. By the way, um, okay, I had to let that post. Rashawn Elam says Biden wants to tax the currency exchange. Laugh out loud, such a dumbass. Yeah, I heard about. I don't know if you're familiar. Did you hear recently? He wants to go on every American's bank account. He wants all institutions to report if you're holding $600 or more, no matter what, if you owe taxes or not. Some people say this is like a form of invasion, a major invasion of privacy. By the way, I can understand 10,000. I've always heard when you're moving large sums, but 600 or more, that's a bit far. In some places, that doesn't even cover some people's rent. So I don't know what it seems like. The socialism, communism, as I warned you guys before he allegedly got in, he stole his way in. I warned you all that he was bringing in socialism. This is a form of communism. You guys remember the videos I did prior to the election, by the way, where I told you guys about socialism and communism. I told you all about North Korea. You can go back and check out those old videos. I won't really harp on that because this video is directed. I try to tie things in to bring things in a proper context, so you guys out there, everyone can understand, can overstand what I'm saying. The focus of this video, there's top six cryptocurrencies that it would behoove you that are actually backed by the World Economic Forum. As when I was listening to Benny's Divine Intel call, by the way, it caught my attention where he was mainly saying that that the elites, or they said that they expect cryptocurrencies to go over amount of um, Bitcoin, by the way, specifically to go over 100,000. That's pretty well known, by the way. In case you all are not aware, they anticipate or expect analysts this year, maybe going into next year, some of the forecasts. It's the market is unpredictable. So this is not financial advice, is why I gave a disclaimer. That's pretty common intel. And some analysts actually forecasted to go over 2K. There's some big names. Bo Ponies mentioned that in some of his if you know who he is, by the way. And there's another guy out there, Christopher Green from AMTV. I've been subscribed to, I've been following for a while. who has his own school. I think it's important if you have the funds to sign up. If I had, the currency, I would sign up for that. Both of those guys are amazing. I love whenever they put out videos, updates, as well as others out there. Some other content creators I follow. This guy that has so-called woo-woo friends. I love listening to some of the psychics, some of the light workers out there. By the way, different information, and you can make it out how you want it. But I follow multiple sources. This is how I'm able to discern information, and I've gone over this in the past. But I think it's important. There's these top 6 cryptocurrencies that are backed by the World Economic Forum. Recently, one of them was having an amazing run. Had I known about a year ago what I know now, in a short amount of time, I'm about a year off. But they were pumping. Solana was being pushed heavily. It went over 200, I heard, then it dropped back down or whatever. I heard they had some problem with the exchange because so many transactions, people were even buying when the market's up. This you call FOMO, acronym for fear of missing out. There was a lot of people out there that were jumping in. I didn't find that to be a coincidence, because I knew my source that told me a while ago. I guess he heard from one of his sources or whatever that the elites planned a while ago for there to only be a handful of cryptocurrencies left. Now, I don't know how they'll accomplish this. This will devastate a lot of people. But he was saying that one of his sources or whatever, he told me privately that there is only going to be a handful of cryptos left. And so I said, that sounds interesting. That sounds like there was a video I came across because I had been researching a lot of different videos about cryptocurrencies a while ago, YouTube. So I came across these videos. To make a long story short, I found out this on my own. He didn't share this with me. I found this part on my own. The other part he did share, but this part I found out there was a couple channels. I won't say. You guys can do your research. You can do your homework, which I always encourage. Is in my disclaimer, why I encourage you all to always do your own homework, do your own research. Don't take Dorsey for what he says. No, just treat it as hearsay. But I happen to find out from these other YouTubers, they had videos going over these cryptos that are backed by the World Economic Forum. By the way, it's like a top 6 or whatever. I think there's some others actually that they back. They have partnerships and stuff. If you know about the projects and stuff, I'm still learning. I'm not an expert. By the way, I'm just learning a little bit that I can. I'm late to the game. I'm like on the 3rd wave. By the way, I thought I was like partially on the 2nd wave. I'm really like on the 3rd wave as I'm learning. And they said that Algorand is one of them. Another one is Solana. I mentioned earlier. Cello, I'm not sure how you pronounce it. Spell C is in cup, E is in Edward, L is in Larry, O is in operation. Cello is another one. Stellar Lumens. A lot of people are familiar with Stellar. So I heard a payment system similar to Ripple. The next one, Ripple, by the way, is one of them. And then Cardano. Some people call ADA, Cardano ADA. So these are the top 6. It's recommended. I don't have all of these in my portfolio. By the way, you could say at least 3 of them I have. I would have almost had four of them, but I swapped one of them a while ago for another one had I known. And that one looked like it was on a particular run, was skyrocketing up. Algorand, by the way, it dropped back down somewhat, but I wasn't surprised. It appeared to be out the blue. It was hovering under $1 for a while. And I remember in the bull market we had earlier in the year when it was up for quite a while, and there was people complaining about it that they didn't get in early. Then it dropped back down. And you know how it's so many you're looking at based on your budget, whatever amount you like, that crypto is good, that one's good. But I was informed that you can't go wrong if you invest in these top 6 projects, these 6 that I'm going over. I'll go over again: Algorand, Solano, Cello, XLM, Stellar Lumens, Ripple XRP, and Cardano ADA. A lot of people know about Cardano. I heard about Cardano a year ago. Had I known, I wasn't really doing the research as heavily, but as I got myself more acclimated, like I learned about, I did a video, if you guys remember a while ago, about precious metals. silver in particular, because there were some people, a lot of people didn't know about buying physical silver and gold. Gold is generally more expensive. By the way, silver is still cheaper if you can afford it. The price recently dropped down. Some was hovering like over $22 per ounce physical. And then you have what's called a premium that's like above the spot price. The spot price is the market price, which is set by the London bullion market, the LBMA. From what I understand, like every Sunday or around our time, Sunday sometime, it opens back up. It closes down and opens back up, just like the stock market. Same concept, similar concept. By the way, wondering, there's a lot of people. Some people do both. A lot of people that channels that I research. I didn't know anything about the stock market years ago. I had a friend many years ago was telling me about some of this stuff, but he seemed to go far left. By the way, he didn't tell me the more intel or whatever. He was supposed to update me because I told him I would have invested in Bitcoin a long time ago. Back in 2013, there was a program I was invested in called Profitable Sunrise. And see, I don't have the benefit of being as young, or being, if you're born on the right, a certain timeline, you're going to be in the loop with more things. Your intel, your circle is going to be a lot larger. Generally, say if you're a college student, if you already, let's say, were in some type of activity, let's say yoga classes, you worked at a barber shop or a beauty salon, you're a member of a church or something some years ago, and you're a people person. I'm not really a people person. I'm more introvert, believe it or not. Privately, by the way, just sharing this. So I used to talk to multiple sources, and I told him about this money that I had lost, or actually I should call currency, in this program some years ago. I actually received a letter from sometime last year about they had identified a certain amount that I had missing, because a lot of people were messed over with that. That was way back in 2013 when that program went down. It was like a loan program, by the way, and it got shut down. I won't go into the details about it. Some people out there know what I'm talking about. They'll still remember it, because there's people out there used to promote it on YouTube. I knew way back then that wasn't smart, by the way, to promote that particular, but the climate has changed because Bitcoin is way more expensive now than what it used to be back then. So this friend I had was telling me many years ago, when I wasn't sure back then, but he didn't share all the details. I told him I didn't know anything about Coinbase. I think Coinbase either hadn't been out yet. When I spoke to him, it might have been 2014, 2015. I can't actually, it was sometime, there was a period back around 2013. I think Coinbase didn't come out until 2014, by the way. But he was telling me like he already knew, and I'm pretty sure he's invested already. He's in the California area, by the way. Was a college student. He's now a professor, by the way. And he never really got back with me. So I basically was left on my own, basically, like as usual. It is for what it is. So throughout the years, I was a part of some other investments and things. And many years ago, you've had digital currencies. It's just Bitcoin is different because of the blockchain technology. I'll sum it up, keep it simple. There's digital currencies have been around since the 1970s, by the way. There was a lot of websites that were similar. Nowadays, you have DeFi, and even DeFi exchanges. DEX stands for decentralized exchanges or decentralized finance, where you can earn passive income, or what do you call it? Residual income, similar to how people make money off of real estate, or they can get tenants in a building, they can own properties, and they have or can build multiple streams of income. Years ago, you had a lot of programs, they were connected to MLMs, like multi-level marketing programs. They were called, there was an acronym called HYPs that stood for high yield investment programs. The problem with a lot of those programs, they weren't, a lot of them were scams of people who started them, would always, a lot of times, would run with the money. They would end up turning out to be similar to pyramid companies, even though they would be going good for a while. Then some people would report it to the Securities Exchange Commission, or like the one program, there would always be a bad apple. Provocateurs would sabotage it. So when Bitcoin came along, it was a lot different. it revolutionized the game because it was more secure in terms of the technology. Even though I heard about exchanges and stuff that got hacked when it was people that didn't know about having their private keys and stuff like that, because there's a whole education behind it. So I'm aware of that too. But just to give you guys a little background, I didn't mean to deviate, but those are some of the trial and errors I've gone through in the past, just to give a background. So that's why I'm behind the 8 ball compared to people out there that are veterans that have been invested in cryptos for a while. Wish I had known, but it appears to be there's a group of the cabal that is definitely trying to sabotage, trying to keep people from accessing any type of wealth. I just recently heard Uniswap, that's a DeFi project, a coin, because you know you have certain coins that have smart contracts. Smart contracts are part of the new technology, part of the DeFi program that stands for like decentralized finance, where you can earn higher interest, higher yields than general savings accounts. Like I know there was common knowledge, just like people would promote, say you do good in elementary, middle school, high school, so you can get a scholarship to go to college, to get a good paying job, to work for corporate America. That's a certain value system. Well, there was people that found out as our banking system is changing, a lot of things are changing where they're moving more digital. You guys have heard about the New World Order. That's what the World Economic Forum is basically connected to. If you heard me mention, go over Klaus Schwab, the World Economic Forum, very powerful group. It's the daylight, one of the daylight versions of the Davos group, the Bilderberg group, all intertwined, interconnected, by the way, even connected to the DTC. That stands for Depository Trust and Clearing Corporation. It's connected to Euroclear overseas. All this stuff is intertwined, interconnected. By the way, I don't want to go too far off in a tangent, but I'm just trying to tie this in so you guys can do your own homework and can connect the dots, connect the pieces, by the way. So once again, I was informed, I was listening to Benny's divine intel that Currency 365 had reshared. If you guys get a chance, go over, check, subscribe to his channel. He's been a big supporter of mine. Big shout out to Currency 365. Much love to the brother, the work that he's doing. He didn't have to donate over here to do what he's doing, but I just want to let the brother know I appreciate the brother out there for sharing my videos. You know, I didn't mind, you know, from the very get-go out there. Appreciate him. And he puts out good information. He shares other content from people in the dinar foreign currency community, people that pretty much have really good intel out there. Because I say it's important, listen to a multitude of people where one person might mention a part of the puzzle, a part of the map that they might not fully have it all together, but I can connect. Some of what Benny was saying is definitely on point, because my source told me a while ago privately, a source that I have, that he said there's only going to be a handful of cryptos that's supposed to be. And he was telling me about another guy that he followed. He couldn't remember the name. But I told him a lot of this information was public on YouTube. It's just you have to know how to search for it. And a lot of people don't know how to research or don't do the research, by the way. So not too long ago, my same source, I shared with him, I said, hey, did you know about this PDF file? I found this out from the other videos. I said, it shows these top cryptos that are backed by the World Economic Forum. Once again, if you can find it, let you guys do some homework. I'm giving you guys a jewel right here. This is a video, by the way, that if I already had a Patreon account, I would probably upload this. I probably wouldn't have this on YouTube. So I'm giving you guys a freebie. So if you guys, you know, don't mind down the road, if you guys like the content that I put out, make sure you subscribe. You're welcome to donate to the channel if you like the content that I put out. But this is some action-packed info. It would behoove you, if you're a crypto holder. I'm not a veteran, but I can tell there's people I've heard that hold multiple bags, because there's many different exchanges. Of course, there's people that have those private ledger nanos, or the Trezors. Those are like the they look like thumb drives, but they hold your private keys, by the way, which is recommended to not keep your cryptos on exchange. Some people might keep a small amount. A lot of the top guys diversify their portfolio. What I'm simply saying is you may want to have a secure separate bag of these top 6 cryptocurrencies, just in case they get rid of all the other ones. This is what I'm hearing. My sources, I don't know when, this is going to take place, but this is a strong possibility. I don't know if they're going to get, I find it difficult that they're going to really get rid of Bitcoin. I've heard some predictions. Bitcoin is going to be a while. Bitcoin has been compared to like holding gold, similar. It's a digital form. Some people call it digital gold. They say Bitcoin is like a form of digital gold, where gold is more so hoarded, because gold is a lot more expensive than silver and generally other precious metals. You have platinum and palladium and others up there. I won't touch on that. But similar concepts. And there's even precious metal stocks that people are invested in, I heard, where they're not going to always be able to manipulate the price. By the way, I've had videos, I've shared videos of intel about that as well. So I'm gonna jump back in the chat section just to acknowledge guys and then get back on the topic. By the way, Rashawn Elon says they're just doing that because they know people aren't keeping any money in their accounts, keeping it in safes and precious metals. Yeah, I've heard some predictions, by the way. That's a good reply, Rashawn, that this new rule, something I heard that Biden administration is pushing, where they want the general public, they want banking institutions to report, even credit unions this applies to, because they're members under the Federal Reserve, by the way, of people, any transactions, if people hold any amounts of $600 or more, or over that amount. I think it's still going through legislation. There's people that are encouraging to fight it, just like the vaccine mandates. They consider this to be a invasion of privacy, an intrusion. There was a famous quote some years ago where they said people shouldn't fear government, the government should fear people, meaning the government has gotten far out of control with too much power. It's supposed to be about we the people. By the way, where they're breaking, if you understand the Constitution, why it was set up in the first place, the Bill of Rights, they were there for specific reasons, due process of law, by the way, and things of that sort. So yes, I agree. Thank you for that comment, Rasham. D Marie 33 says hi. Appreciate you, D Marie. Greetings. Okay, D Marie. QNT VX VXV XRP XLM. Okay, I've heard about some of the other ones. The VXV, I don't remember what that one stands for. By the way, definitely XRP and XLM. I've definitely heard about those. The VXV. I just can't think of what that is an acronym for. I've heard of that one. By the way, it's so many out there that's supposed to do well, because we're in a bull market. There's pullbacks like temporary bear market, which we saw a crash all of a sudden earlier in the year, and then it happened again in September. Oh, by the way, I don't know if you guys know, I haven't really heard or saw a lot of channels talk about this, but right after we had that big crash in September, did you guys know that Stellar dropped down below a penny? It appeared temporarily. Since you guys know I'm on a graveyard shift, I happened to wake up late. This happened, I noticed, on September 8th. Then it shot back up. Stellar had always been hovering around 30-something cents. You guys check it out. It's been around 30-something cents for a while, since it corrected, since the bull market. We've had, of course, ups and downs, by the way. But when it went back down, last time I checked, Stellar was around 30-something cents. Now, it has had its moments where it was going up and down a little bit, but generally, for the most part, like as of lately, it's been hovering around 30 cents from what I'm noticing. But September 8th, Stellar had a flash crash. I don't know if you guys caught that. I didn't really see nobody really report on it. A lot of cryptocurrency channels, maybe they put them on their Patreon accounts, because I know some people that talk about heavy information. There's a lot of people on YouTube that are way more advanced than me, channels I'm subscribed to. I won't mention their names, by the way, because that's important information people value. That's a real big freebie I would be given. If you want to know stuff like that, it's good information. If you set up a private consultation, things like that, I'll share with people. People sometimes ask me specific questions, even related to the redemption movement. I'll share some people who are top intel providers, people who are way more advanced than myself, by the way, who've had confirmed success. I understand their processes and the procedures they have, by the way. And just to give a heads up out there. If you want to know information like that, if you do set up a private consultation, I'll go over info like that. But there's channels, by the way. I don't know if they really share, but Stellar went below a penny, way below a penny, and I almost, by the way, was able to jump in, because if you know, when it's, of course, the lesser amount, that's a steal. That's like a fire sale. You know, even 30 cents is still cheap right now. And that's one of the cryptos that's backed by, looking at my notes, backed by the World Economic Forum, Stellar XLM. A lot of people expect Stellar to do well, by the way. They expect Stellar to do, you know, down the road. I'm not sure, you know, if it when it's going to 10x or, you know, 3x or whenever, but I bet you it was going to have his run. But that's not by coincidence that Stellar had a flash crash, by the way. So some big channels out there, I'm just referencing, may have put this on their Patreon accounts, that Stellar went way below a penny. I had to, you know how you wake up sometimes, your vision is like, it's kind of blurry. Oh, it's a mosquito trying to get me. I don't play around with those mosquitoes. Oh, those mosquitoes trying to okay. Come on. I just got bit early. I don't play around, guys. You know, excuse me for a second. Oh, I hate the interruption. Okay, the mosquito just doesn't want to give up. Okay. Come on. Come on. I'm not playing games with you. Come on, Skeeter. Come on, Skeeter. Come on. Uh-huh. Get up. Show you I'm not playing. Had a temporary pause there. Oh man, mosquitoes are just okay. I think I got you. Just don't get it. Don't know how fast I am. Hopefully the little mutt should be gone. By the way, they're always trying to hide. But anyways, back on topic, guys. There's a little distraction right there. I don't like mosquitoes. A friend of mine jokes with me, says I go to war with them. Thought I saw it again. But if not, if they come back, I'm going after them. I'm not, or the she. They say it's only the female ones that bite. They lay eggs. Believe it or not, mosquitoes, by the way, just on a side note, they've been responsible for killing most humans ever. Believe it or not, one of the smallest animals, and in terms of deaths, because they carry multiple diseases. You know, in many countries they can't afford or didn't have good what do you call medical medicines and stuff. By the way, you know, malaria, they carry West Nile virus, Zika virus, things of that sort. And you know, we supposedly have a major pandemic going. So mosquitoes, and when they bite you, and then some people mention they're carrying the blood from other people they bitten, you know, by the way. So it's almost like you getting a teeny bit of a blood transfusion, by the way. So I do not like those blood suckers, and they don't want it with me. Just put it that way. But back on topic before I shut this video down. But I just wanted to go over the topic of this video. It deals with cryptocurrencies backed by the World Economic Forum. I say must have that are important. The HODL, I was informed, Algorand, Solana, Zello, XLM, Ripple, XRP, and Cardano. XRP stands for X Rapid or something like that. And you know, they were still going through the lawsuit with the Securities Exchange Commission, which some people say is staged, by the way. Some people mention that. But if you are invested, this is for top holders out there, even for newbies, by the way. It would behoove you, I was informed, you may want to have a secure separate bag of the top 6 cryptos, just in case they get rid of the others. I was informed that, I don't know how. I don't think they're going to get rid of Bitcoin though. By the way, I could go into details. There was one source I heard a while ago mention that was saying something about you're going to need it for the future. But maybe it could be another cabal faction. But I do know that some of the cronies that's part of the evil cabal, because the World Economic Forum, they're behind this the so-called jab, by the way, and they're connected to some of the most powerful people in the world. So it would behoove you that these are must-hold cryptocurrencies backed by the World Economic Forum: Algorand, Solana, Celo, XLM, Stellar Lumens, that's the acronym, Ripple, XRP, Cardano, or ADA. Some people refer to as ADA, Cardano. By the way, which I had known about ADA. And I was actually informed. I was told about ADA a year ago, but I didn't really understand about, investing, or how much you should purchase, or how much you should hold. But I did, fortunately, I will say this, I didn't necessarily miss out. But sometimes you just might have to hold longer or go long term if you're buying at a higher amount. By the way, but it's best to buy in the dips, by the way, when it's down versus up, And there's well, I can't say that one. This is not financial. This is not legal advice. This is not securities or financial advice. I did give a disclaimer, by the way, but I'm just giving this is kind of like a warning in a way. But for those out there who are advanced, you may want to have a separate bag once again, invested in Algorand, Solana, Celo, Stellar Lumens, Ripple, XRP, and Cardano. These top six are backed by the World Economic Forum. I think there's some other projects they're backing as well. There may be a few other cryptos they are backing, but these top six are their main ones. Because I heard one of my sources similar to Benny's Divine Intel told me a while ago, it told me several times, it's only going to be a handful left. And then when I showed them, there's a PDF file I found from watching these other videos. There's these guys that reported this already on YouTube, where I told them this information is already public. It's not like I'm necessarily sharing secrets. If you know what to look for, they already had thousands of views, multiple channels. But there's still a lot of people I know in the space, the crypto community, that don't know about this. There's a lot of people that's invested in cryptos that don't know about that. You can look it up. Trust me, you'll find it. If you type in the right words, if you know how to research, because I'm giving you guys a skill set that I have. I'm a researcher, by the way. And I tell people it's real easy. It's not hard if you just if you watch Q and James Bond, or just get to typing, or I was always inquisitive. But if you look up these top six cryptocurrencies, once again, they're backed by the World Economic Forum: Algorand, Solana, Celo, starts with a C as cup, Stellar Lumens, Ripple, XRP, and Cardano. Those six, it would behoove you. You may want to have a secure separate bag of these top six cryptos, just in case they get rid of the others or crash the market down the road, because they're backed by the big boys, the ruling class, the elite. By the way, just putting it out there, just saying. By the way, and I don't find it a coincidence that Solana just ran up, had a major bull run, jumped up like well over 10x. I forget what it was. It did come back down. So the last time I looked, it was like around $150. But I heard it invested like a year ago, it was like $3, by the way. And I heard the crypto market, I hear, does better than stock market overall. But a lot of these top guys, some of these top channels I follow, they're involved in both. They're invested in stocks and cryptos. So there was a reason I stayed away from the stock market. Had I known, I think I got some bad advice, but I do know there's the risks that are involved. I have a better understanding, but some of these brokerage exchanges have made it easier for people to get involved. Because I was always curious many years ago. It was a guy I worked with around the time I first started back in 08. He actually told me he had 17,000. He told me he was invested in major stocks like Coca-Cola. He was telling me this back then, and I was like, wow. But that was before we had Robinhood was out, before Webull, eToro, Stash. There's a host of others out there that are involved, like apps and stuff you can download, you can get involved with, that you can trade and have websites and stuff where you can have accounts and buy and hold. I wish I had known, because had I known, I would be, you know, in a lot better position. I probably wouldn't be here, by the way. But I'm gonna get to the rest of you guys' comments. Joe Sanchez says H bar is another one that has promising potential. Yeah, I heard H bar. Yeah, recently that one jumped up. I remember when that was hovering around like 15 cents. I remember when I first looked at it, it was around 11, 12 cents. I saw how it ran up to like 50, a little over 50 cents, then it dropped down to like 40 something cents. And that's, yeah, that's definitely a promising one. I heard there's a lot of them out there. That's some winners. So it's like hard to choose. But if you've been doing your research and stuff behind the projects, the use case, because one of the things my source was telling me, the reason why it may only be a handful of cryptos left whenever they go through with this crash. However, he said it's a lot of cryptos that are going to disappear. He said it's going to be based off of, do they have a use case? But I heard that some of the evil cabal, whatever, allegedly, treat this as hearsay, doesn't like some of the ones dealing with the smart contracts, or they could be acting like that. They want, really, it's about control. They want to control it better. So I heard, you, like I told you, you guys probably heard the news. Uniswap is under investigation by the SEC, and you know the Securities Exchange Commission threatened to sue Coinbase. I heard Coinbase, when I heard what they had went there humbly to the SEC, was trying to find out to be compliant, and the SEC was like straight on some straight gangster stuff, like they had a problem with, you know, cryptos in general. So, you know, they got to be, they're controlled by the elites, ruling class, real high up, by the way. Just putting it out there, something to keep in mind. But yeah, I agree. Joe Sanchez, uh, D Marie 333. Joe Sanchez says at D Marie 333, where do you get VXV? H bar is being used for Vax passport and contact tracing, though. Oh, I didn't know that. We're interested. Well, too, you know, just like when people invest in the stock market, it's still part of their game. Like one guy I know who's a former football player that gives advice on stocks and a little bit on cryptos, mentioned that certain stocks he won't invest in because they're invested in cigarettes and prisons, and that goes against his morals. But a lot of these companies out here, they have their beds so embedded and things. But that is some good intel to know about, D Marie. But I didn't know that, by the way. I'll keep that in mind. But you know, is if you know how to just play their game, basically get in and get out, because they're using a banking system that is their weapon, by the way. Because a lot of people, you know, there's some stuff I can go into. They're trying to build their portfolios up, their wealth, because a lot of generational wealth is not being passed down. There's a lot of, I was having this conversation earlier in the day, yesterday, Friday, with a good friend of mine. We were speaking on this for a while, because he's a conservative, and you know, I lean more to the right than I do as far as my politics, even though I'm not a registered voter person. I canceled my voter registration back in 2004. I'm just putting it out there, FYI, by the way. But I still give my way in, and we have debates. You know, we don't fall out with each other just because we disagree or whatnot. But we were having a conversation. I was telling him how the black community is not passing down generational wealth, and he was explaining, yeah, it's a lot of poverty, and he has a different way of putting it because he has like a conservative mentality. So I say all it is, it's a different train of thought. By the way, it's a different context between the left and the right when it comes to that paradigm. But if you understand how to use basically the markets, you know, invest in hard assets, don't have all your eggs in one basket. But I just said, you know, we got to do something better, because the earlier generations, both me and my friend, we come from Generation X. And we've been informed, our generation behind us, the baby boomers, they basically failed us. And I don't have any children, but there's a lot of people bringing extra mouths to feed in this world that don't have the financial means to take care of them. Look what's happening with COVID. They're making things harder with parents, even prior to COVID, when they were pushing this thing. What do they call that type of learning that they instilled in the school system? Common Core. A lot of parents, I heard, were having to stay up late when they implemented that crap. But I heard at private schools by invitation only, that some schools that some of the elite children go to, they were exempt from Common Core. They didn't have to take Common Core. But I heard that from a certain individual that has a lot of wealth. I won't say the name in this video. You guys maybe heard me mention his name in the past because I didn't even know he had any children. He looked like a nerd, a geek. I was surprised he had any children, by the way. But I found out that his kids went to a private school, and I found out the school that they went to at the time, this was some years back, said they were exempt from Common Core. I said, wow. So there are elites. I was informed by one of my same sources some years ago that stated they were sent to private schools by invitation only, meaning by invitation only, and they were taught by their parents, by the way. So they come from their pedigree, and the pecking order is high up. They do exist out there. Says D. Marie says, Coin Metro and Play Store is real easy. I actually use a lot now. It will list everywhere soon, I'm sure. And money. Okay. I never heard. Is Coin Metro, is that a... Okay, I'll have to look it up. I'll find out then. I'll probably... What I like to do is, if there's new exchanges presented, I like to look them up on YouTube. But I do know where you can, to answer Joe's question about VXV, I think that the exchange, one exchange that has it, by the way, I think that may be Voyager's cryptocurrency. I hear Voyager is a good... There's one guy I follow, by the way, I've been subscribed to for a while, and he pushes Voyager a lot. By the way, I heard that's a good exchange. Now, different exchanges have different fees, by the way, so it's important to do your research. I encourage, just like I give in my disclaimer, I encourage everyone to do their own homework, because everyone is responsible for their own commercial affairs. Dorsey's Resource is not liable for what you do. I'm just sharing my opinions, by the way. Joe Sanchez says, yeah, probably so, but all of the true utility tokens, XRP and XLM, are integrated into New World Order plans. Yes, you were right. I heard about that. Their both payment systems. One is also going to be used like a facilitator as well. Yep. D. Marie says, I heard they were burning 40 million VXV in time, leaving only 10 million max supply. Okay, so that would be, when there's a lower market supply, then that ties in with, the price going up, law of supply and demand. By the way, if that VXV, I think if that's Voyager coin, I'm not sure. I could be wrong. There may be another token out there. I've heard of it before. I just can't remember if that's Voyager's token. By the way, it says Quant is the over ledger for them all. Crazy bullish. Okay. Thank you. Joe Sanchez says, thank you. Yeah, I see it's performed extremely well. Okay. Also, by the way, guys, make sure if you haven't, make sure you subscribe to the channel. I'm your host. Currently, you're watching Dorsey's Resource. I'm your host, John Dorsey, doing business as that legal person, legal fiction. By the way, the third to be more specific, by the way, you're watching my channel. I'm covering a video on must-hold cryptocurrencies backed by the World Economic Forum. I would say the HODL. It's important to have in your bag. We're having a discussion right now on that topic. I'm just reading from the chat section. If you like the content that I put out, don't forget to smash the thumbs up, the like button, by the way. Also, subscribe. You can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Should be in the description box after the video uploads. If not, check the previous video's description box for where to follow me on social media. If you like, follow me. Sometimes I might put out contents there, or if anything happens over here, I can put out emergency messages over there, so you guys can be in the loop. Just putting it out there, by the way. D. Marie 333 says, and ISO 220's R3 quarter is token is XDC. I'm in, but has a higher supply than I prefer. I saw it. XRP went to 86C XLM. Oh yeah, 86 cents. XLM.00, and the whole thing glitched. Yeah. So you peeped that too, D. Marie. Thank you for confirming. Because I only saw maybe a few channels that commented, but XLM, that happened September 8th. If I had known, I would have, I had to rub my eyes, like, when you just wake up and your vision is blurry because I'm on a graveyard shift. So I got up that evening and I looked at my wallet and I said, "Am I seeing what I'm seeing?" I couldn't believe it because that's a big drop. So it's like the elites, they'll do stuff like that. Where one crypto that's backed by them, they were running up. That was Solana, and Algorand was running up big. Algorand had a pullback recently, not too long ago. But of course, they'll be probably going up again because Bitcoin is a saying that a rising tide raises all boats or something like that. Bitcoin is like that rising tide raises the rest of the cryptos up with it when it shoots up. That's why it's anticipated when it does skyrocket over time. Certain cryptos go against each other. So they're going to have, if you understand the market, they're going to have their times. They're going to ride the wave. Some others are going to go against the wave. Or Ether, by the way, some cryptos that are connected to ETH, by the way, may jump once ETH shoots up. You may see a bullish push. Like one in particular was, the last time I checked, was like that cheap. I'm just not saying the name. I'm thinking about, I was really close to investing. I heard a guy that's really smart that I follow. He was part of like a crypto pyramid some years ago that got shut down. But I always knew, I always felt he was going to be successful because he was really smart and did well. I always said it was something about him. He's talented, by the way, and I'm subscribed to his channel, just not saying the name. And he mentioned the other day, I was watching his video, and he said when he looked at the price, he was like, yeah, that's when I want to buy, because he's done videos in the past and said sometimes he doesn't mention to his subscribers. He said, I don't let you guys know when I buy certain cryptos or when he holds. But this one in particular, he mentioned it. I said, yeah, I also heard about somebody that has a lot of money, put a lot of money in that same particular crypto, just not saying the name. So I'm thinking about it. It would scare a lot of people away, especially what I'm going over, because you don't know what's going to happen down the road. But it could end up being like another Dogecoin. Doge went down, by the way, but it had a run up for a while. But you got to definitely be paying attention to the market. D. Marie says, I use XLM to XFR from DEX to DEX or to wallet, etc. Way cheaper than USDT or BTC sending. It's pennies and very fast. A lot of countries say, okay, I'm not sure what you were saying, if that's a typo. Sound like you're advanced, Deemer. You're way more advanced than I am. I'm just now learning about DEX, what that is. From what I just learned recently, believe that's DeFi exchange, decentralized exchange. By the way, I think DeFi, decentralized finance exchanges. By the way, that ties in with that. You have to have, like, I think you have to link a MetaMask wallet. I haven't done none of that. But I heard, because the SEC doesn't like cryptos. I heard they got Uniswap under investigation. So I will watch. You got to be careful, because you're taking a risk, by the way. Because the big boys, similar to what happened with Robinhood earlier in the year, if you guys remember that whole fiasco, to show you what side they're on, by the way. Chief Vegas, clap. Appreciate you, Chief, for joining. By the way, see what time we got. See what time we're on. At 2:20. Okay, I'm gonna get ready to wrap things up. By the way, I'm gonna read the rest of these comments and I'm gonna shut it down. I pretty much have gone over what I wanted to talk about. Warn you guys about the top 6 must-hold cryptocurrencies backed by the World Economic Forum. It's important to invest in HODL. If you are thinking about cryptos, you can't go wrong. You may have to be prepared to go long if you invested high. Like definitely Solana, it ran up. So it's kind of like I invested in Litecoin when it was real high, by the way. So I always automatically knew you just got to go long, by the way. But it would behoove you. Algorand, Solana, Celo, XLM is still a good amount. Even though I wish I got in, they had that flash crash this past September 8th. Something similar I was going to mention, the elites did with the dinar, how all of a sudden with the dinar, I heard stories about how some people, VIP people, they exchanged in the middle of the night where they would open the rate, they unlocked it where it was allowed to exchange, then they closed it, locked the rate back up. But I heard stories like that, very similar. That's an elite move. That's why I didn't find that to be a coincidence that Solana was shooting up, Algorand was shooting up, then all of a sudden they crashed XLM. So some of their buddies during, I think it wasn't the full day, but it was within a certain time period. And I caught it like around after 8 o'clock. So it was within a small certain window or time frame. If you follow me, then it went back to the regular price because I had to rub my eyes like, am I seeing what I'm seeing? But boy, I was close because if it stayed at that price that night, I was getting ready to load up. Yes, load the boats. I ain't playing. I saw that price. I said, wow. So if they do something like that again, hopefully, let me know out there. If you guys hit me up, if you guys see anything like that, let me know. Because I can't keep up with everything, but I'm trying to pay attention as much as I can, by the way. Says, let me scratch up. Okay, Chief Vegas says, I thought Bitcoin was linked to pedo allegedly. I could go into that. I didn't see a comment from earlier. I could go into what that's about. Stuff. There was a connection with that, Chief Vegas, in your comment a while ago. And that was concerned some years ago when I was invited to these private calls. When my video back in 2017 that went viral on the Black Card, appreciate Yusuf El had shared, many others had shared, when the private TDA movement had broke out that summer with Harvey Dent, Mike O'Brien, some other people. There were people questioning at the time the connection with that. But I won't, that'll put me over the time for this particular video if I touch on that, by the way. So I'm not going to touch on that, but maybe say that for another time. I didn't see your chat earlier because I'm on a time restraint. So I'm going to try to read the rest of you guys' comments. I'm going to run through and I'm going to shut things down. Maybe in the morning or something if I come back. If you want to know more about that, Chi, just remind me the next time I go live, I can touch on that. Joe Sanchez D Marie 333 says, you seem very knowledgeable on crypto. Are you a content creator? I think that's what they were asking. Are you a content creator on YouTube? D Marie 333 says the front page of Google today now is saying that a solar wind is going to somehow take down the internet, but not. D Marie 333 says not affect the electric grid. Now, laugh my ass off. Yeah, not on YouTube though. Klaus Schwab put that out already. Alex Jones, if you go to his site, ban.video, he shows the clips. I just put it in the chat section where Klaus Schwab mentioned it's like they're planning this for there to be a power outage. That's the excuse. But the supply chain has been drastically affected because of the scandemic, by the way, that's occurred. The artificially, I say, you guys that really are in the know, I could touch on more. 7100 Warhawk says, good to see Mr. Dorsey. It's been a minute. Hope all is well with you. Appreciate you, 7100 Warhawk. D Marie 333 says they definitely are going to crash the internet. It was front page on Google today, and EMP/CME is going to hit power and internet, not just internet crazy. Yeah, I won't be surprised. It's all part of their plan. Just don't know. They're going to know when they're going to plan on doing this. This is why some of them are saying just be ready, by the way, because that's what I am hearing. Like they're planning power outages. Don't be surprised, not just from weather disasters and other things, but they can also make stuff go out like what they did with the back in 2003 when they had that blackout, by the way. 7100 War says, wow, D Marie, I would like to read the article. Joe Sanchez says, whatever it will be, it'll be another false flag. This was probably tested when Texas power went out. D. Marie says, I'll grab the link. Google the article. Title is An Internet Apocalypse Could Ride to Earth with the Next Solar Storm, New Research Warns. Yeah, it was discovered SEC employees were investigating. No, it says, Joe Sanchez says, yeah, it was discovered SEC employees were investing in XRP during lawsuit against Ripple. That's not surprising. By the way, D. Marie says, I use a hard wallet and keep it inside a Faraday bag. Haha. That's smart. I got to talk to my friend who's prepped up, by the way. That's genius. That's a good thing. That's yeah, so you hold your private keys in case anything happens, so you can prove if you need to, bring your wallet back up. I got to look into that. And that Faraday bag, I've heard about those. A good friend of mine who's a survivalist, and we may be doing some collaborations down the road. By the way, just got to ask him again what name. He's followed me. I don't know if he still follows me on Twitter. He follows me on Parler, by the way. Amazing guy. They say sword sharpens sword. So we're both humble. We don't know it all, but I gotta say he knows his stuff, and he was assisting another group out there, another survival group, by the way. But I'm gonna say he leans more to the right politically and things. Didn't like some of the things he was seeing, and I would share some intel with him, by the way. And we might be doing some future collaborations. If you want to follow him, I think he's under Urban Ranger, but it may be another name once I find out, because we both have busy schedules. He's full-time parent, breadwinner, holding it down. So big shout out. He's under Urban Ranger. He's followed me, and he's followed me on my Instagram, by the way. So he knows about a lot of stuff pertaining to that. That's who, when you guys see me on some of my other sites I'm on out there, where I say I'm into hiking, other than my other hobbies, video games, stuff like that. I've done hikes. It's been a minute, but I'm into certain things like that, adventurous type of activities. I have that part of my personality. I like to be well-rounded, by the way. Well, he definitely can share insight on emergency preparedness. I went to one of his presentations before with another activist gun club group some years ago. I went and saw that presentation. He did a phenomenal job there, by the way. And like I said, to reiterate, down the road, we've discussed we might do some possible collaborations, but I'll let you guys know. I'll keep you all informed once that comes about, and I'm gonna get back with him and discuss that. I fill him in. Sometimes he catches these lives in there, by the way. So I'll see, but that's something I definitely want to give you guys, and probably down the road, if I'm able to start a Patreon or maybe a subscription service, then I can have some of those other things down the road. That's important, pertinent information, as long as I'm still around, God willing, to keep you guys in the loop and give you guys high-powered, credible, action-packed information. Chi Vegas says, it's all good. Appreciate you for sharing your knowledge. Yeah, don't forget, Chi, just come back with that comment, question you want to know about. Just jot it down, and I can touch on that. It's just I'm getting ready to shut things down. So about to read this last comment from Joe Sanchez. He says, you get a hardware wallet. My XRP disappeared from Coinbase wallet, but reappeared hours later, so be careful. Get a cold storage. Yeah, I heard it might be XRP might be getting relisted sometime soon as the lawsuit nears end. It may be being relisted on a lot of exchanges. I heard some exchanges XRP has been relisted on. Something to keep in mind. I don't know, but that's some news I heard from following other content creators. I would have to research it, so I don't want to tell you something I don't have confirmation, but I heard possibly that once that wraps up or is nearing wrapping up, XRP may be being relisted on some of those exchanges. Of course, expect they might shoot the price. There might be a price hike if they do that, because they say it's supposed to be way higher than what it is now. But I'm very bullish on XRP. Very bullish, by the way. And it is the ADA and XRP peeps mostly speaking on Black Swan event. Home, thanks for updating us. All right, that's it, guys. Appreciate you for joining D. Marie, Joe Sanchez in the chat, Chief Vegas, everybody who stayed tuned in. Don't forget, if you haven't, subscribe to me. If you're wondering about my social media, give me some time till I default the information once after this video uploads. You can go to my previous videos, look in the description box if you want to know what it takes to contact me. I generally have instructions. Look at my most recent previous videos before I'm able to upload it. In this current video, after this uploads, I'll transfer all my links and stuff over for my social media. If you guys want to donate to the channel, if you guys like the work that I put out, you can follow me at DorseysResource. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Facebook at DorseysResource. I'm on Parler, parler.com. Parler's been back for a while. They got their own servers now, so you shouldn't have to worry about Parler going down. That's my conservative side. My Instagram is my more liberal side. So politically, you know, even though I'm not a registered voter, that's where you guys can catch me at to see the different sides of me, by the way. And with that said, the marathon will continue. Real legends never die. They live in our hearts forever. Until next time, guys, stay woke, stay blessed. Until next time, deuces. I'm out. Peace.